Hey, in this tutorial I am going to teach you how to optimize images for the web and do some basic SEO so that you have a better chance of ranking on all the search engines. So here's my image. I am going to hit Command I on a Mac. I have no idea how to do it on PC. Um, but as you can see here, it's 14.7 megabytes. Now that's pretty gigantic. If you load this to your website, it's gonna like not load and or take forever. The dimensions are 5,000, over 5,000 and over 3,000 pixels. So we definitely need to make this smaller. Now you can just drop it into Photoshop. I already have it opened here. And you can go to image size and resize it this way. Not the most recommended way, but you can do that. My favorite way is just to go to File, Save for Web, and then in here you change the options to fit exactly what you need. So let's say we want a 600 pixel wide image. And I usually, for the web, I usually do about 70%, which is still high. Sometimes depending on like when I zoom in here, how I think it looks, even like 60% is still high, so somewhere around 50%. And as you can see down here, it shows you the file size. So we went from a 14 megabyte to a 23 megabyte image. This will load approximately, and you can look at here different loading times, but let's just say think something like that. So this will load in about 2 seconds. So, 1 or 2 seconds, which is pretty good. So my favorite size is because we build a lot of websites that are pretty big and use the whole width of the screen. I usually go about 1600 pixels. And that's about 110 kilobytes for the image. And then I kind of preview it, make sure it looks good. It doesn't look like super grainy. And you can change, I don't know how, depending on the quality of your screen, if I go all the way to 0, you can start seeing some of that ugliness. If I go to 100, it looks super crisp, but now look at the image size, it's almost back to a megabyte. So I like to bring it down to about a good between 60 and 70. If it's a professional image and the photographer is like, don't mess with my image, I try to be respectful of that and give it the highest quality possible without affecting speed. If it's just like a blog post or something that it's going to be living on a small screen or whatever, I kind of push it a little bit. So in this case, I'm going to save it to my favorite. Again, my favorite preference is 70%, and that's what we recommend here at Just Digital. And about 1600 pixels. Now, if we need something bigger, I push it up to like 2300 pixels, which is just fine. Again, it's almost 600 kilobytes, which is pretty big. So for this particular example, I'm just going to make it 600 pixels because we know where this is going to go. Actually, I'm going to make this 1200 pixels. And there you go, 120 kilobytes. So basically, to recap, you go to File, Save for Web, punch in the quality settings. For most pictures, we do JPEG. Unless it's transparent, we do PNG. But the quality, I'm going to bring this back down to 70. And because it's a big image, it kind of takes forever to load. And I'm going to make it 1200 pixels wide. Enter. And that is about it. You can mess with some other settings, but that's fine. So that's how you save it, and then you just click save, right? So I'm gonna save it to the desktop. I have a big mess there, and you can see the standard. The photographer will send you something, and it'll have like the number and like camera and all that stuff. In this case, this is a stock photo, so it has that. So in this case, I would do cool dude with a beard. If this were a client, I would do client name and their keyword. So to give you a practical example, let's say this is a bookstore. I would call it Awesome Bookstore and then Los Angeles Bookstore or something like that, depending on what your keyword strategy for that is. If this were a dentist, it would be Awesome Dentist and then Cosmetic Dentistry in Hollywood or something like that, right? and that just gives you a better chance of, and you can mess with the metadata and all that stuff, but usually I find that this is pretty straightforward. It should take you like 2 minutes to do this, not even 2 minutes, and you can do this on a single image. So there you go. That's how you optimize it. So now if we compare my awesome dentist with the keyword, and if I hit Command I again, this is 134 kilobytes. It's going to load in a few seconds. This is going to take forever and make your stuff crash. So there you go. That's how we do it. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon.